أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So للفعل الثلاثي المزيد بحرف, this increased three letter verb we are talking about, that is بحرف, with one letter, له ثلاثة أوزان, it has three templates. It has three templates. We actually looked at this al mazid before in level 3. We've looked at it. So and I believe you still can still remember that we have الفيل الثلاثي المزيد بحرف, we have الفيل الثلاثي المزيد بحرفين, and we have الفيل الثلاثي المزيد بثلاثة أحرف. And the بحرفين is having just three templates, بحرفين is having five templates, and بثلاثة أحرف is having what? Four templates. So inshallah we are going to be looking at all these al-mazid, all these templates one after the other. But today we are only looking at the al-mazid sulasi biharfin, with only one letter, the increased three letter verb by what? By only one letter. So it has three templates. Why here? The first one is af'ala, af'ala. The second one is fa'ala, and the third one is what? Now, so firstly, we are looking at what? Af'ala, af'ala. So we have a lot of verbs under af'ala. We have akrama, we have akhraja, we have adkhala, we have ahsana, we have a lot, and a lot of verbs under af'ala. So we actually want to look at the meaning you should give to what? To af'ala verbs when you see them. When you see a verb under this template, firstly, how can you translate them? What meaning can you give to them? So that is what we want to look at, and you should know that all these templates, any template that is increased by one letter or two or three, the meaning must change. After knowing that, you must also know that each template has a lot of meanings. It has what? A lot of meanings. This af'ala alone has, like, it can be translated in like 9 or 10 ways. 9 or 10 ways. But there is a general meaning for af'ala. There is a general meaning for what? For af'ala. And the general meaning should be the first thing that should come to your mind when seeing these templates. When seeing any verb under this template, because of its generality. It's used generally across all af'ala verbs, except for some cases whereby you have to translate it with other meanings. But the general meaning is what? The general meaning is what? Lita'diya. Lita'diya. So it's used for ta'diya. إذا نظرت إلى هذه الكلمة التعدية تجد أنها تتعلق بالمتعدي. هذه الكلمة تتعلق بالمتعدي. المتعدي transitive verb. So is somehow related with المتعدي. This للتعدية, التعدية, المتعدي. You can see is related. So the reason why it's related is that this af'ala is used for ta'diya. Let's look at the meaning. This is a term. I don't want to translate it like that. So let's look at what this ta'diya means. التعدية هو تسيير الفعل اللازم بالهمزة متعدية. You can see the ta'diya again. متعدية. You can see the متعدية. So what does it mean? What does ta'diya mean? We said it's used for ta'diya. This lam is what? It means what? It's used for ta'diya. Af'ala تستعمل يستعمل للتعدية. Af'ala is used for ta'diya. So what does ta'diya mean? Ta'diya is huwa tasyirul fi'l. Is the act of changing al-fi'lu al-lazim. is the act of changing the intransitive verb. Is the act of changing the intransitive verb bilhamzati mutaaddiyan to mutaaddi to transitive verb bilhamzati by adding hamza to it. And where is the hamza? This is the hamza. Are you following? Is the act of changing al-fi'l lazim, the intransitive verb, mutaaddiyan to mutaaddi bil hamza with hamza. So definitely, we are changing al-fi'l. We are changing fi'l. We are changing the lazim verb like jalasa. Jalasa is lazim. Jalasa is lazim. So now changing jalasa to mutaaddi, we are going to add what? We are going to add hamza to make it what? To make it ajlasa. So ajlasa. So let's look at the meaning now. Firstly, you have to note that whenever a verb is lazim and you want to use that lazim, you want to change that lazim verb to mutaaddi, you want to use it in a mutaaddi way, you are going to add hamza to it. So now let's look at it in terms of its meaning. The meaning of jalasa is very different. It's different. Let me say it's different from what the meaning of ajlasa. Jalasa means what? Jalasa means he sat. He what? He did what? He sat. He sat down. So now you can see firstly what can you observe from this jalasa? You should observe that the jalasa is what? The jalasa is a lazim verb. It's an intransitive verb. Zaid jalasa. Jalasa zaidun. Zaidu sat. So it doesn't require any maf'ul bihi. But in the case of ajlasa, you are making the jalasa verb now mutaaddi. You are making the jalasa verb mutaaddi. You know we said jalasa zaid. Jalasa zaid. You said jalasa zaid. Zaid sat by himself. He sat down by himself. So you now saying ajlasa. It means Zaid is not sitting by himself alone. He's not sitting by himself again now. He's someone that is what? That is sitting him down. That is making him to sit down. Virtually by carrying him to sit down, or by commanding him to sit down, or by helping him to sit down. What we want to derive is that Zaid is not performing the action himself. Is someone that is performing the action for him. You know, Zaid is defined here in this field lazim is defined, but in this mutaaddi Zaid is not defined. Zaid is what? Zaid is the maf'ul. Zaid is what? Zaid is the maf'ul. So we are changing this jalasa verb, which is the lazim verb. We are changing it to mutaaddi by making it transitive. We are making it mutaaddi with this siga af'ala ajlasa. So that is the general meaning. That's general work for this this template. I hope you understand that. So let's see example. Let's have another example aside the jalasa example I gave. We also have another example. We have qama zaidun. Qama zaidun. Zaidu stood up. Zaid stood up. So firstly, we see qama. You should know qama is fi'l lazim that doesn't require maf'ul bihi. As you can see in this sentence, there is no maf'ul bihi there because the sentence is complete without maf'ul bihi. Definitely qama is what fi'l lazim. So Zaid stood up. So if you now want to say someone stood him, someone help him to stand up, or someone carried him up, or anyhow, just to indicate that Zaid did not stand up by himself, is someone that carried him up. You you are going to add the hamza there to make it a comma. You can see this comma is the sulasi verb. So now changing it to af'ala verb, you are going to add alif hamza to it to mean ta'diya, to make the lazim verb what mutaaddi. So in this sentence now we cannot say what to zaidan, to zaidan. I carried Zaid up. I carried him up. But in this place, Zaid stood up by himself. It doesn't require maf'ul bihi. But in this place, the verb akoma require maf'ul bihi. Definitely, by adding alif hamza to this, alif hamza to the comma, it makes the verb a transitive verb. So the work the akoma the hamza is doing there is a. Let's move on. So فقام فعل لازم. You can see comma. I explain this. Comma is fi'l lazim. Is an intransitive verb. Wabil hamzati. But by adding alif hamza to it, sora mutaaddiyan. The comma verb become mutaaddiyan, a transitive verb. The comma is fi'l lazim before, but when we add alif hamza to it, the fi'l lazim here in this comma, we add alif hamza to this alif hamza, we add it to comma. The hamza now change the comma to what, to mutaaddi, to a transitive verb by having what, maf'ul bi, and this is the maf'ul bi zaid. So to zaidan, I carried Zaid up. I made him stand up, either by commanding him like stand up. So he stood up. Definitely, I'm the one that made him that. I'm the one that caused that action. I'm the one that caused that action performed by Zaid. So فقام فعل لازم وبالهمزة صار متعديا إذن definitely. So therefore الهمزة هنا تفيد التعدية. That hamza, that is this hamza in af'ala tufidu at-ta'diya is meaning what? Is meaning ta'diya. The work the hamza is doing here is the work of what? Ta'diya. Changing mutaaddi, changing lazim to what? Mutaaddi. That is the work of that hamza, at-ta'diya. So what I'm saying in essence is that this af'ala verb to ta'mal li ta'diya is used for ta'diya. So فإذا كان الفعل لازما صار بالهمزة متعديا لواحد. So if a verb, if we see, okay, إذا كان الفعل لازما, when a verb is what? Is lazim, is an intransitive verb, صار بالهمزة متعديا لواحد, the verb will become mutaaddi, a transitive verb, liwahidin, to a maf'ul bihi, a transitive verb to what? To only one maf'ul bihi bil hamzati, with that hamza. The fi'l lazim that doesn't have maf'ul bihi before will become what? Mutaaddi, a transitive verb, liwahidin, that is limaf'ul bihi wahid, limaf'ul bihi wahid. So it's now going to become a transitive verb to only one maf'ul bihi, that is the verb will now have only one maf'ul bihi. وإذا كان متعديا لواحد, so if the verb is now a transitive verb already, if the verb is a transitive verb already, that is having only one liwahid, that is having one maf'ul bihi. For example, alima. Alima. So alima means what? He knew. So like he knew. So that is the meaning of alima. So sora biha mutaaddiyan lisnayn. So the alima is going to become mutaaddi, is going to become a transitive verb. You know, it's transitive already. It's still going to become a transitive verb, but listening to two maf'ul bihi. Alima should have only one maf'ul bihi. He knew, okay, Alima Zaidun and Nahawa. Zaid knew what? He knew, okay, let's say Alima Zaidun Abahu. Zaid knew his father. Zaid knew his father. So when we now say Alama, by adding the alif hamza, Alama, the verb is now going to be in need of two maf'ul bihi, because it's having one already, and the hamza must add one maf'ul bihi to it. The verb alone, the alima is having one, then this hamza is adding one to it to make it two. So alima Zaidun abahu, Zaidun knew his father. So we will now say a'lamutu Zaidan abahu. I made Zaid to know his father. I made him to know his father. This is, I showed him his father. So that is that. There are a lot of verbs like that. So whenever you see a verb that's having maf'ul bihi already, and you are adding that hamza to it, definitely it's going to have what? Two maf'ul bihi. So whenever you see alama or any verb that you know that has maf'ul bihi already, and you now see the verb with alif hamza, the tandiya hamza, you should be expecting two maf'ul bihi after that verb. So وإذا كان متعديا الاثنين, and if the verb is already a transitive verb to two maf'ul bihi, ordinarily the verb is having two maf'ul bihi, صار بها متعديا لثلاثة مفاعيل لثلاثة. So with the hamza, the verb is going to what? It's going to be muta'addi. It's going to be a transitive verb, but to what? To three maf'ul bihi, to three subjects, to three objects rather. It's going to be what? Muta'addi, a transitive verb, but to three objects. The verb will now be in need of three maf'ul bihi, because it's already having two, and hamza is adding another one to make it three. So that is that. And one of the verbs that has two maf'ul bihi already without adding the hamza to it is ra'a. Ra'a. So this is one of the verb that has two maf'ul bihi already. They are not much. It's just like ra'a, and maybe they are not much, rather. They are not much. The verb that has two maf'ul, but you should know that whenever you're adding hamza to a verb, the hamza will add one maf'ul bihi to that verb. It's going to add one maf'ul, whether it's having maf'ul bihi before, or is having it does not have maf'ul bihi before, or is having two maf'ul bihi. Just know the hamza is going to add one maf'ul bihi to it. So let's see how to conjugate this. Okay, let's see the example first. We have some examples here. We have ahsana. Ahsana is from hasuna. Ahsana is from hasuna. Hasuna, which means to be good. To be good. So now, when you are now changing the hasuna to ahsana, it means what? You are making that thing to be good. So it means to make good, to make something good. Definitely, that thing is not good by himself again. It's something that is causing, that is making that thing to be good. Okay, let me say, for example, let's say hasuna beiti. My house is good. My house is good. So if you now say ahsantu beiti, it means what? I made my house good. I made my house good. So ja'altuhu hasana. I made it good. So alima. This one is from alima. This one is from hasuna. So I've explained this alama before. Don't let's waste time on that. So alama is also under the template of af'ala. We also have ab'ada. Ab'ada. So it's from ba'uda, which means to be far. To be far. So I can say my house is far now. Ba'uda beiti. My house is far. So if I now say ab'aditu beiti, I made my house to be far. I made it far. So I made my house far. So there must be a reason for that, but that is what it means ordinarily. You are that thing does not is not happening by itself right now. It's not happening by itself. It's happening through someone or something. So it's different from the normal sulasi verb, like bound abate. My house is far. My house now is defined itself. Is defined in this statement itself. So if I now say abu to beiti, it means that house is not far by itself. I am the one that made it far. Maybe I went far away, or I'm explaining to someone and I'm making the house far to him and things like that. So you should know that by relating it to a lot of things yourself. So abu ada, we have adhaka. Adhaka. This one is from dohika. Dohika. Dohika means to laugh. To laugh. So now adding this hamza to it to become adhaka means what? To make laugh. To make someone laugh. Dohik to. Okay. Dohika Zaidun. Zaid laugh. Zaid what? Zaid laugh. So if I now say adhaktu Zaidan, I made Zaid laugh. I made him laugh. Maybe I crack a joke. I told him a joke and he laughed. So how we get that? So I want you to know the difference. So adhaka is fi'l lazim, but with this hamza it becomes what? Muta'addi. Adhaktu. That too is the fa'il. The Zaidan is the maf'ul bihi. Zaid laughed by himself. That one is doika Zaid. But adhaktu Zaidan, Zaid is not laughing by himself now. I'm the one that is performing the action. I'm the one that is making him to laugh. So if you want to say I'm still coming there. Let's see. Okay, abka we have is from baka means to cry. Baka Zaidun. Zaid cried. So if I now want to say I made him cry, I made him cry either by beating him or by telling him a bad story and a lot of things. So I made him cry. You're now going to bring the hamza to change the verb to what? To muta'addi, to a transitive verb firstly, and secondly to change the meaning to what you intend to say. We are not adding this all this hamza. We are not adding the letters to all these things for just for fun. We are adding it. We are adding letters to it to change the meaning. Baka is different from abka. Baka means what? To cry. Abka means what? To make cry. Baka Zaid cried. So Zaid cried himself. But if you now say abuka, abukaitu, or abuka fulanun Zaidan, abuka Ahmad Zaida, Ahmad made Zaid to cry. I hope you are following. So we have what? We have dakhala. Dakhala means to enter, right? To enter is a lazim verb. To enter. So if I now say adkhaltu or adkhala, okay, let's say dakhala Zaidun. Zaid entered. Dakhala Zaid. Zaid entered. So if I now say adkhaltu Zaidan, it means what? I made him enter. That is, I brought him in. I brought Zaid inside. So Zaid did not enter by himself. I'm the one that brought him inside. We have Kharaja too. Kharaja, and we have Akharaja. Kharaja means what? To go out. So now changing it to Akharaja, now we change the meaning. Like he went out. He okay. Kharaja Zaidun. Zaid went out. So if I now say Akharajitu Zaidan, Akhrajtu Zaidan. It means what? It means I took Zaid out. I took him out. So you can see the difference. So just note uh the meaning and how it affects the verb. So it depends on what you want to say. You want to say I sit down, there's a way we say it. We say it. If you want to say someone stood me down, someone make me sit down, there's a way we say it. If you want to say I know something, you can say there's a way you say it. And if you want to say someone taught me something, it's different from what you know. So it's someone that make you know that thing. That one is different. So basically now we are talking about this half Allah. I want you to know how powerful half Allah is, how powerful it is. So that's why I'm taking my time to explain all these things. So when any verb is increased by Hamza, just know that verb is going to be translated as what? As Tandiya. For this level, no, it should be translated as what? As Tandiya by adding what? One maf'ul bihi to it, whether it's having maf'ul bihi before or it's not having at all or it's having two maf'ul bihi. But the Hamza will work on its own by adding what? By adding one maf'ul bihi to it. And meaning what? And meaning uh to make someone perform an action. Hmm? So I hope all these example I gave. Okay, let's see when we are conjugating them. I think you will understand better. So let's see the conjugation. We have Madi, as you know. We have Madi, the past tense. You have the Mudon, the present tense. You have Masdar, the origin, that is the source of the Kelma. We have Ismul Fa'il, the doer of the action. We have Ismul Maf'ul, that which the action is performed upon. We have Amr, we have the imperative, uh, and we have Nahi, we have the forbidding, forbidding or prohibition. So now let's see how to conjugate this verb and see their meaning. Firstly, I want to conjugate this verb with the general template of the verb itself. The general template of the verb itself is what? It's af'ala. This is the af'ala. This is general template of the verb itself, af'ala. So now changing the af'ala to mudori, af'ala. I would like you to take note of the difference between af'ala, and other mudori verb of what? Of the sulasi, like af'alu. Af'ala, this one is taking fatha, and af'alu. This one is what? This one is different. Af'alu is different from af'ala. Af'alu is the mudori of what? Of the sulasi verb. Mudori, this is the present verb of sulasi verb. Okay, let's see. Af'ala, like akhraja. Akhraja, this is what? This is af'ala template. Af'ala template, which is modi. But this one is like saying doraba, adribu. Adribu. This one is what? This one is, you can, if, without putting the signs. You want to take them. You want to take akhraja for adribu. Akhraja. Let me put the signs. akhraja for adribu, and you want to take adribu for akhraja without the signs. But when the sign is there, at times you might want to take them one for the other too. So if you are not careful, you will take akhraja for adribu. So the difference there is that this one is what? This one is madi for the af'ala verb, for the mazid sulasi harfin, and this one is mudori for what? For sulasi, for fi'l sulasi mujarrad. Mudori, the present tense verb. And again, this one is having fatha at the end. Af'ala, akhraja, akrama. At the end is always having what? Having fatha. And this one is always having what? Having doma. That is the key difference between the two templates. So don't take one for the other. So let's see. Let's go back to the conjugation. We have af'ala. So the mudari of af'ala is what? Is yuf'ilu. Sorry. Af'ala yuf'ilu. I would like to mention to you that the conjugation of these mazid verbs, all mazid verbs, they are very very simple. They are very very simple. I'm conjugating this af'ala now. So any verb that you see under the template of af'ala must be conjugated the same way. You must conjugate them the same way. I hope you are getting. So let's see how it goes. So af'ala, the mudari is what? Yuf'ilu. The source of the verb itself is what? Is if'alan. If'alan. So we have ismu fa'il, which is muf'ilun. Muf'ilun. So we have ismu maf'ul, which is what? Muf'alun. Muf'alun. We have amr. Amr, which is what? Af'il. Af'il. And we have nahy, which is la tuf'il. La tuf'il. So any af'ala verb that you see now, just put them under these templates. You have the general template now. This is general template for any af'ala verb that you see. Any af'ala verb. Any af'ala verb must be what? Must be muta'addi. Because it's working as stand here. Except for some cases. There are still af'ala verbs that are not muta'addi. That one is translating is having different meaning aside from the one of ta'adiyah. But just know for your level that muta'addi verb is always having what? Is always having maf'ul bi. Definitely is having what? Is maf'ul. So this template is general template through which you can conjugate all your af'ala verb. All your what? Af'ala verb. Af'ala, yuf'ilu, if'alan, muf'ilu, muf'alun, af'ila, tuf'il. You should be able to conjugate af'ala verbs like that. Be fluent with it. Just try to be practicing. So when you practice it, it becomes part of you that whenever you want to say the ismu fa'il of any af'ala verb, you just bring it like muf'il, mukhrij, mudkhil, muhsin, muslih, and so on and so forth. So make sure you practice it and master the general templates of all these templates. All these templates. So master them. So I would like to mention to you that this ismu fa'il and ismu maf'ul, they are very very similar, but the only difference there is that this ayn is taken in the ismu fa'il is taking kasra, and the ayn is in ismu maf'ul is taking fatha. Is taking fatha. So let's see. Let's look at some verbs. We have ahsana, to make something good. So it made it good. So you sinu is making it good. So don't forget, a verb can have different meaning. Hasuna can be to be good. Hasuna can mean to be fine. Hasuna can mean to be beautiful. Anything, but to make something good, to be good. That is general meaning for hasuna. So ahsana, to make that thing good, to make something good. Now we are not bringing the maf'ul bihi. So to make something good, you see, is the present tense form of the ahsana, which is what? is it makes it good. Eh? So ihsanan is the act of making something good. That is doing that thing the right way. Ihsan and ihsan, doing good. I hope you can see the meaning. You can see how it's related. You should if you are familiar with the word ihsan, you should know the meaning is what? The meaning is what? Doing good. The act of doing good. So asana, you can even say asana to do good. To do good. Asana, you can say to do good. So well, let's move on. So ihsan, doing good, the act of making something good. So musin, the person who is making something good. Then musan, that which is made good. Asin, do good, make something good. Ahsin, make something good. La tuhsin, don't make something good. So I'm representing the maf'ul that's supposed to be there with that something. That I'm using something. It can be anything. Make your writing good. Ahsin khattok. Ahsin khattok. Make your writing good. Make it to be fine. Beautify your writing. You can translate it anyway so far you understand the basics. So I'm not in this class. I want you to know something. I'm not going to be giving you uh, the the general meaning of a word. I'm going to give you the source. That is what under which template that word is used is gotten from, and how and everything about that template itself. So you will now be the one to sit down and give it a good meaning that's very near to your understanding. Now to say beautify your writing now. I can say Ahsin Khato. You can see is somehow uh not is not the same with uh do good. To do good, but it's still related. So it's just like making something good, beautifying something, and so on and so forth. But just note that you have to give it your own meaning. I'm just here to teach you the technique, the literal meaning, the meaning itself, the exact meaning. But you not be the one to sit down and give it the nearest meaning, uh, depending on yourself. So let's see another verb. We have adhaka. Adhaka. He made someone laugh. And you can see as I said something. It can be something, it can be someone, depending on the kind of maf'ul bihi. Okay, adhaka, he made laugh, he makes someone laugh. Though the someone is not there. If you want to say to make someone laugh now, you can say like if you want to say he made him laugh, you can say adhakahu. Adhakahu. But here the who is not there. But we are just assuming that it's there to give it a complete meaning. So, but ordinarily adhaka means what? To make laugh. To make laugh. So if you now say to make someone laugh, you are adding maf'ul bihi. So we are adding it, we assume it's there now. So that's why we are translating it that way. So adhaka. He made him laugh. Yudhiku, he is making him laugh. Idhak, the act of making someone laugh. Mudhik, the person who is making someone laugh. Mudhak, the one who is made laugh. Adhik, make someone laugh or make him laugh. So asking is like imperative, commanding someone like make him laugh. So la tusin, don't make him laugh. La tudhik, don't make him laugh. So another one we have abka, to make cry, to make cry. So you can see this one is what? This one is from baka, which is what? Which is feel nakis. I intentionally put this for you to know that you still have a lot of work to do. You are still this asana is the one for what? Is only the one for Sahih alone. We still have Af'ala, the one of Mahmud. We still have Af'ala, the one of Mudaf. We still have Af'ala, the one of Lefif. A lot. But this one is just the one of Sahih. This one also is Sahih. I just added this one, the one of Naqis, to make it look somehow different. That's why I intentionally added this. So abka means to make laugh. Abka. So definitely the way you conjugate abka is going to be different from the way you conjugate adhaka. Because what? Because its source, its root verb is different. This one is having a weak letter. Definitely you cannot conjugate it with the same way you conjugate the sahih verb. So adhaka, he made him laugh. Yudhiku, he's making him laugh. Sorry, Abuka, he made him cry. Yubuki is making him cry. Ibuka, and the act of making someone cry. Mubukin, the person who is making someone cry. The person who is making someone cry. Mudhak, sorry, oh, Mubkin rather. Mubkin, the person who is making someone laugh. So here now, I want you to note something, that the ya is not there. This alif maksura is not there. But what should be there is yao. It should be mubki. But because we need tenwin, we use tenwin here, tenwin here, tenwin. We are using tenwin, so we cannot change it to marifa. So mubkin now, mubkin. If you want to use it as marifa, you are now going to add this ya. Ya is there, but it's not. It's hidden in this mubkin. But if you want to use alif and lam, you want to make it marifa, you are going to add the ya to it. It's going to be what? Mubuki. Can you see that? It's going to be al-mubki. Al-mubki. That is why we have al-muhyi. Al-muhyi. Oh, so part of the small line is al-muhyi. So if you want to pronounce it in an indefinite way, so it's going to be what? Muhyin. Muhyin with tenwin, and the I is not going to be there. The one of tenwin has no ya, but the one of marifa must have ya. Note that is very important. So mubkin, the person who is making someone cry. The mubkan, so the person who is made cry. So abki, make him cry. Make him cry. La tubki, don't make him cry. Don't make him cry. So that is that. I hope you understand the lesson. I will like you to practice a lot of verb under this template, and make sure you conjugate as many verbs as possible. So the more you practice, the more you get it. Like conjugating all these things faster, it indicates you've mastered it. So now saying af'ala yuf'ilu fa'ala muf'ilu fa'al af'il la tuf'il ahsan yuhsin ihsana muhsin muhsan ahsin la tuhsin adhaka yudhiku idhakan mudhikun mudhakun adhik la tudhik. So if you do that, I will be assured that you've mastered it. May Allah make it easy for us. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.